So here we are in Resolve's edit page. Let's take a look at these color bars and what on earth they're all about. So you might be sitting there, James, and go, well, I've opened up Resolve, I've got a timeline in front of me, and I can't see these. Well, don't worry. Basically, by default, Resolve just doesn't show them. So you haven't done anything wrong, and I'll talk you through how to switch them on so that you can also benefit from these. But first up, what on earth are they? Simplest way of thinking about it is that it's a visual representation of what are known as duplicate frames. So if you haven't heard that phrase before, what this means is basically portions of media on your timeline that are the same as one another. So for example, if you've got a source clip in your media pool and you've cut that in to your edit more than once, you might have brought in a portion of it that is the same. So therefore, there are duplicate frames in your edit. So how on earth do we switch these on? If you pop up to the View menu here at the top of Resolve and scroll down, you can select Show Duplicate Frames. And fingers crossed, just like that, they'll show up in your timeline. But remember, even though you've now switched that on, there might not be any coloured bars in your timeline. So don't worry, it just means you haven't yet used the same piece of media more than once. So once these are switched on, there's no impact on your work at all other than to be useful. Here's a specific example. I've just got a YouTube short that I was cutting together earlier, and it allowed me to visually identify an error really quickly in the edit. And if I play this through, you'll see where it is. To do with keyframing and sure enough, there's a piece of duplicated audio. So what we can now do is, through the use of these color bars, very quickly figure out what we need to trim off to remove the repeated piece of audio. So if we select trim mode from the edit page here, and we can just hit T on the keyboard and go down to the timeline with our cursor, we can grab the head of the clip here. And if we hit U on our keyboard, it will allow us just to select the endpoint of this clip. And we can very quickly trim off the head of the clip, thus removing duplicate frames. It's to do with keyframing, and in particular within the color page of Resolve. Super easy. So elsewhere in the timeline here, we've got even more colored bars. Well, these are actually just still showing duplicate frames, but they're simply from other source clips. So basically the feature is obviously not just limited to one source clip. So a quick visual addition there to Resolve's GUI. Hope that's been useful. All the best.